is delicious. Don Juan, the Texas treat. And you are listening to the Countdown City WrestleCast.
What is up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host, JC. Joining me is that guy, Tommy.
Hello.
And we got Big Mike.
What's up, guys? 2024. Let's go.
If Mike looks a little different.
You say that faster and faster every time. Sorry.
If Mike looks a little different on your screen, it's because he got a new computer. So this is the first big test. Yeah.
So everything works nicer for at least today. That's what happens.
Yeah. And by the way, that liner is proof positive that yes, Don Juan has been on the WrestleCast before for an interview. I just want to throw that out there right now.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Also, I know we'll get to what happened this weekend, but I actually got to yell at him after losing a match. Ha ha! You lost, and you're still not coming on. Countdown City WrestleCast. So that was pretty funny.
The funny thing is, to go back and watch the interview, and we kind of were planning a part 2. But COVID hit. But I always joke that I would love to get him. We've interviewed him. We interviewed Chris Marvel. We'd love to have a side-by-side interview with the original Texas Treats. But we'll see what happens. Maybe somewhere down the road. So anyway, today we're going to take some time to recap everything that happened at King of the Ring. And I'm sorry, King and Queen of the Ring and Double or Nothing. Also talk about everything that happened locally, some local events here in town. What is going on in the chat? I see your guys' faces. Cutthroat, yeah. Funny. But let's start with a little bit of wrestling news. If you watch Double or Nothing, there's a little scary spot involving Adam Copeland, and confirmed he's got a broken leg. I haven't seen Dynamite tonight, but did they address that issue on Dynamite?
Yeah, I mean, as far as the belt, yes.
Okay, so what is going on?
So the Bucks wanted to come out and give the belt, I think, to Okada. But Tony Khan announced that Christopher Daniels is an interim EVP in his place. So Daniels decided to have qualifier matches for I think it's a ladder match at Forbidden Door.
Oh.
So people will qualify, and then there'll be a big match at Forbidden Door, which probably means there'll be a couple of New Japan people involved.
So is the championship officially vacant at this point? So
yes.
It is?
Okay.
Ay.
And I mean, I guess we'll talk about it later, but
yeah,
it kind of seemed like mid-flight he realized there was barbed wire around the person and was like, oh, oops.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But, damned if you do, damned if you don't, right?
No,
so,
yeah. And the one I saw was like, at least he didn't sit vicious himself. And
yeah,
it's true.
That could have been a lot worse for sure, especially if it's higher jump.
Yeah, it was scary, and you could see him limping after the match. So it's like
you see him like right after it happened.
Yeah, true.
In the ending stuff, but we'll get to all that. So
yeah. Other bit of wrestling news, and this one really just kind of blew everything up because it happened yesterday on NXT.
Yeah.
Jordan Grace challenging Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's Championship at Battleground, which we're going to talk about next week. Holy crap. Guys.
I mean, wow. Like,
yeah.
It's okay. Oh, also big shouts to Ethan Page, who also debuted, and apparently he's been taking out Metaphor to challenge Trick for the NXT title. Yeah. But did you guys see on Twitter that Drew McIntyre said the door swings both ways? It had a picture of him with the TNA World title, but then Moose replied about something by him being obsessed, and then had a picture of him with the World title. And I'm just like, please give me this. I want that.
There's a lot of ways you can go with this. But yeah,
what I read though, it'll mostly be NXT talent that exchanges with TNA. Although it'd be really cool with some of those people. But the one thing I keep seeing to pop up is hopefully we get Joe Hendry in NXT, because that would be hilarious.
It just
Say his
first of
name.
all, yeah. I mean, if somebody were to say it and that music hit, God, that place would blow up.
Yeah, it would.
Hearing a TNA chant on NXT television, holy cow, that was pretty cool.
Okay, so can we
but-
finally use that to dispel this rumor that people don't watch different companies? Because that proves that they do.
Well, yeah. We love the Triple H era, right? Now, of course, they're acknowledging other companies out there.
No. I don't mean the companies. I mean, I think Vince and Triple H have long since known that. I meant the fans.
Yeah.
Can we find this, prove this rumor that people, they don't know who that is because they don't watch that? Bullshit. Absolute utter bullshit.
People know.
People lost their shit.
Okay, you're right, but there is both. Obviously, people that go to NXT a lot are probably bigger fans, but in a bigger WWE arena. And when people talk, but there are people that are fair weather. That's one of the things with WWE being so big, is there are people that don't know who Jordan Grace is. In the NXT place, probably more diehards who are into wrestling on a regular basis. Because if you're a sometimes fan, you're not going to go every week.
But
I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying you're right, but there is people out there that don't know. It's both.
Yeah.
But I don't know because Jordan got a pretty good reaction at the Rumble when she showed up.
Oh yeah. But the Rumble's full of your diehards too. You know, I mean, people are gonna pay top dollar.
No,
I'm not saying you're wrong, but it's not full one way or the other.
Yeah.
I think it's more than they want to admit. Is my point.
I think there's enough wrestling fans out there to understand there's more than one company at this point, especially this time. Maybe they watch this show and they get their info from us. I don't know. But, it's to see the acknowledgement. I mean, because her appearance at the Rumble was not announced. It was a complete surprise, and she got a huge ovation. It wasn't like Mickie James where they announced it ahead of time and revealed it, you know. But yeah, it's who else is going to appear? Who's going to go from the NXT or WWE side to go to TNA at some point? Because there's got to be a bit of a trade-off, right? This can't all just benefit WWE.
I read somewhere that that's supposed to happen.
Yeah. Let me just throw this out there. R-Truth show up, realizes it's the wrong show, say my bad, and leave. That's got to be one, but it's just for the hell of it.
No, if he does that, he's got to go full Raw the Truth Killings and not even acknowledge the R-Truth side of things. I want him to be full 3 Live Crew Raw the Truth Killings and not even acknowledge that side. And he goes back to Raw, and like Miz is like, "What the hell were you doing on TNA?
Yeah.
When was I there?"
Well,
I'm down with that because you have to have some heel be the sucker in TNA who thinks it's R-Truth and tries to joke with him, and then he does just kill him as Ron Killings. That'd be actually kind of funny.
Bubba said on Busted Open Radio, his thought was that, hey, why not have Jordan Grace win the championship? At NXT Battleground.
You said Bubba, so I immediately thought it was something I should ignore and not listen to.
So, but yeah, he was talking about this like it's a great book, and he would love it if Jordan Grace wins the NXT Women's Championship, and they set up a rematch at Against All Odds, which is the next Impact Plus event, or it would help. It would benefit both streaming services, right? And maybe
then Bubba wins the world title. That's the craziest part of this scenario.
I mean, TNA, this is marketing like, hey, check out Roxanne Perez's last match in TNA. It was her against, of all people, Deonna Purrazzo. I think is when she lost the ROH championship, too, in TNA, at TNA Arena, too, by the way. Or it was Impact Wrestling at the time. So, crazy. I mean, we'll see what else comes out. Jordan Grace is wrestling on NXT television next Tuesday, next week. So, yeah. Yes,
okay,
I did hear that too, Bernsey. Yes,
I watched more of this obviously last Tuesday because Ren was on as well.
Yeah,
Booker is like unhinged. Like I don't, I know Sean's in charge, and I've heard a lot of people joke about him, but there's clearly nobody in his ear telling him anything. Because that man goes off, the other guy has to like reel him back in, because he's just going on like. It's been a while since I fully watched the full episode. Because Ren hadn't been on as often, but
did you hear when Ethan Page came out and the other announcer said, "Wasn't he an AEW?"
Yeah. Well, they timed it right because he got interrupted by Ethan Page's promo. So yeah. So good job with that one, right? So
all I say with this is like, hey, good for Ethan Page, good for Jordan Grace. Again, it's like people have been saying. Dustin Rhodes put this on online the other day. Instead of people who don't like AEW wanting to fail, just be happy that everyone has somewhere else they can go.
Yeah.
So
for sure, benefits everybody. So
yep. So I'm sorry it didn't work out for Ethan Page and
there you go, Bernsey. Thanks. The Vic Joseph is the guy who has to.
Vic Joseph, thank you.
Whose apparent job is to not be an announcer, but to keep Booker T from going off the rails.
I mean, that feels like a full-time job by itself. So I really don't blame.
As long as he's getting paid, right?
Yeah.
I hope he has insurance.
Yeah. Seriously. But no, I just sad he's not in. But I heard a couple of guys were leaving AEW recently, and best luck to him. I read Mark Henry. He's leaving too.
Him, Arn Anderson,
and somebody else.
There was like one other person. Oh, Jake Hager.
Yeah, that's right, Jake Hager.
But again, once Cody left, Arn didn't really have a place there. Like they tried something with him and his son right after that, and it just never worked. And it's if they're going to be a successful business, they can't sign everybody. And they do have to worry about money and stuff at a certain point. But again, it seems like they're letting all the contracts run out, and they're not cutting them early. So,
and according to what Mark Henry said, it wasn't like he said there was no love lost. There's no anger. He doesn't hate them. They don't hate him. From what I think what he put was like, we had a talk, just what they want to do, what I want to do, didn't quite match up, but we left on good terms. So you never know.
Yeah.
This whole crazy wrestling business, the wagons could circle back around. So.
Oh yeah. And then I guess one other thing with big wrestling, I don't know if you're going to get to this, JC, or not, but apparently Becky Lynch's contract expires on Friday. It's expected, at least for right now, that her last match was Monday on Raw,
the cage,
the cage match.
Yep.
So is it expired? Is she just taking a break? Are they? Have they?
Well, it's expired. She has a contract.
It's expired.
It's expiring. They haven't announced she's signed the extension. The belief is she's going to let it. The popular belief I've seen, she's going to let it run out, take some time off. Maybe re-sign again in a couple months. There's small things that she could go to AEW, but you never know. It's possible. But
I read someone ask Jericho about that, and he did, no, it's good. And he just said like, isn't it just great that she has options? He didn't say like, it'd be great if she came here, but she could re-sign with them. The best thing about having a company like AEW is the people who are worth the money can negotiate for it. So they could.
I want to see the transcript. He probably got himself over with some other quote after that. So,
maybe, but that's not the part I read. So,
well, I guess we'll find out Saturday if her name gets moved to the alumni section of the website, right? Is that really how we're going to find out for sure?
Probably.
That's probably the way we'll find out for sure. So, but
and then there was actually some other big news on that same episode right after that match. So apparently on Raw, the funny thing was, because of USA, the time ran too long, and they didn't show, as Liv was leaving, kissing Dominic Mysterio and then walking off.
Who did not push her away, by the way.
No.
Get that out. Did not push her away.
And didn't go, puh. You just kind of stared at her, so...
Do you know how fast someone showed the clip of China dumping Eddie Guerrero got posted online after that? I don't even know if it was almost like a Kendrick Lamar response to anything Drake says ever. It was like 5 minutes later.
He posted later on Twitter /X a meme of like Kermit driving. It just says, "Well, fuck."
Yeah, I saw that.
So that's a pretty
tough Bernsey.
All right. Well, let's get into what happened this past weekend locally. You guys attended the Hybrid Experience and then RCW's Memorial Day Miracle. We can start with the Hybrid Experience first. By all means, what was it? So, I wasn't able to attend, unfortunately. So,
Hybrid show first on Saturday, Jefe de Mayo. So I love Marvel. I love the school. We're never going to say bad things about them. Some of the wrestlers in the middle of the week, though, posted, "Hey, we got air conditioning now," and I sent it to y'all. Game changer. They did have big portable AC units. It was not effective in the gym.
Did it help a little bit?
If you stood right in front of them,
it's a lot of bodies, a lot of space, and doors being open doesn't help. But this is what it is.
It was a great show though. Really good matches all around. Texas Kingdom, our hybrid tag champions, and I know Tommy's going to probably leave the camera when I say this, but Callie is our hybrid women's champion.
Yeah.
I've had worse things happen in my life than her.
For what it's worth, there was an involvement of a male Cholo who may have been a cousin or something, or a primo.
And bloodline?
And Vance Jackson being Vance Jackson. There was some shenanigans, but in the end, she did walk away with her first title in wrestling.
So we have our own type of bloodline going on here in hybrid, basically. But
I guess it's three cholas and one cholo, and everyone was making fun of him because like, you're not even a real cholo.
Mm-hmm.
You're not even a Raiders fan. You're not a real cholo. Yeah.
Okay, his pants could not have been tighter. Like, I'm just saying, like for a cholo, I'm like, bruh, are those skinny khakis? I need you to go to cholo class because that thing needs to be at least 3 times your size, bro. So.
It's like in NXT when like the fans are like big jack dudes, and they're actually from the PC, but they're like they get hit or something. It's like that.
Yeah.
But I just want to say to that guy, it's bad that I know more about cholo attire than you do. Okay, you should be ashamed of yourself right now. You should be ashamed.
But some other good matches. Jonathan Gresham was there, and Troy Markham beat him. Actually, tapped him out. They had quite a technical match. It was kind of interesting, but it was a good match. It was toward the end. I think things were not
cholo class. Hey, I'm just saying, I've been around enough that I can do the beginner class. I can't do the advanced class. I can do the intro with cholo.
No.
You grew up in or around San Antonio, South Texas. You know the basics of cholo. So I mean,
there you go. That's what I said. I can do the intro to cholo class. It's like all right.
There's also some YouTube videos on how to do it as well. So I
think I've seen those.
Yeah.
Also, I've talked to Tommy about this because I've seen the posts of like the weird cholo culture in Japan, where they love all that stuff.
God, I gotta get to Japan someday.
Japan is it's crazy. So.
But yeah, so that was crazy, and then the main event was our friend Casey Blackrose versus Daga, and holy crap!
Yeah,
did they tear the house down,
dude? That was match of the year contender right there. It really was.
Yeah, Daga did pull out the win in the end, but man, Casey went with him for a good time too. Mm-hmm. So all around a great show. The Treats lost on that show, right? Who did they face? Wait.
No, they won on this show. They lost in Lytle.
Lytle. No. They lost on RCW too.
Yes, they did. That's right. Because I was happy.
That's when I told Don Juan that thing. That's right. Yeah, because we had seats right by the end. Pretty much on both shows, we had seats by the entrance.
Oh, we got new hybrid tag champs too.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. The Texas Kingdom. Yeah,
the Texas Kingdom.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So no, that's okay. If you go to Title Match and watch Memorial Day Miracle, or if Hybrid releases the matches, like 65% of face entrances are high-fiving Tommy as they come out. Because Tommy had the seat right by the entrance. So, like, yeah.
Both nights, actually, at Hybrid.
That's what I mean, on both shows, yeah.
Yeah. I just realized that I was sitting there both nights, yeah.
Yeah. Funny how that works out, yeah.
And every single heel yelled at me. I mean, every single one.
That's normal. That's not surprising. So
I have, because I posted it, the little video. I think in Hybrid when she came out, Callie literally pushed your hand away because you were in her face, and then the other Cholo
this over and over again to her small, tiny face. Oh no, I'm sorry. It was like,
and then the other Cholas had to go at it with you to defend their friend.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You did laugh on Sunday, which was another great show, Memorial Day Miracle.
Yeah, it was a great show.
Let's get into that one.
Very disappointed that no Spurs showed up, nor was there a marking on the court for where Sean shot. After the show, you can ask Jason. I went over to the sideline and I was like, right about here. Tried to pick my heels up a little bit, but the basket was up, so I couldn't recreate the shot.
Yeah.
So
that's why you couldn't.
Yeah. Hey, what are you trying to say, buddy?
Nothing. What?
Nothing. But no, that was a good show overall. The Flocking Brawlers and Alex Arsenal did beat Treats Nation, all three of the Texas Treats, whatever they're called.
By the way, Don Juan can't spell Megalodon. He misspelled it on his shirt. I was looking at it and I was like, that's misspelled. And I had to look it up to make sure. And I was like, he misspelled it. He misspelled the thing.
And that really upset Tommy.
It's the English major.
As it would any writer.
Also, and Jason in the chat will attest, we were seats, me and him were seats by the entrance. Tommy was in front of us. We were the last row. And behind us was Carolina and Eliana, the ring announcers. I want to watch a pay-per-view with these two because we can hear their comments the entire show. They were cracking me. Eliana, well, I mean, they both do, but she was saying some stuff. And we're like, damn.
No, dude.
Calm down.
You got to talk to Eliana more often, bro. She got jokes, bro. Like, for real.
Yeah, no, she does.
Man, dude. She got jokes.
And then they introduced Logan Pettis as the new male general manager for RCW, and he came out to the Dallas the Dallas theme, and he was all cowboyed up, and the look on Tommy's face when this happened.
Callie won a belt. Logan Pettis is in a position of authority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like the worst weekend of my life.
It was kind of a dark timeline for you.
I don't think I'm exaggerating here at all when I say that was the worst possible two things that could have happened to me over a weekend, and I mean just ever in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Shout out to both of these. She is more. She does have more promo skills than some of the wrestlers.
And we need an alternate commentary track.
Yeah, we really do.
Yeah.
Okay, I do want to bring one thing up. You know, Diego, because we can't stand the Treats, and there is a small group that will always cheer them. But Diego's been international champion, and I don't think he's defended that on a RCW show in like 3 shows or so, because he keeps being in tag matches.
Something like that.
He did defend it at NostalgiaCon for what it's worth.
They made him do that.
Okay.
So they might have. But he needs to defend that thing in an actual match because, first of all, he's too smug with carrying that thing around. But he never defends it. So, yeah, there was AC problems at RC. But it was a good show, and I didn't even really think about it too much until after the show when you're just like standing there talking to people, and you're like, oh, yeah. I'm drunk.
I thought about it a bit because I have plans to go over to my family's house afterwards, and I did bring an extra shirt just in case. And I remember thinking, thank God I brought that because I have to go home. I'm sweating so much in here. So
right. The tag match for the women's title, Alejandra and Emmy did keep their titles, and I still don't think they exactly explained who was going to get what belt. The other weird thing was in the multiverse of wrestling, Callie beat Gia on Saturday, and then on Sunday at RCW they're teaming, and they were actually on the same page about things. And I was like, that multiverse.
One of those things, yeah. Go through a wormhole.
You know what's funny? I brought up the San Antonio Wrestling multiverse on a mission last night for Mission Pro Wrestling, and both Beta and Emily agreed. Yeah, that's a real thing. This is a real thing that happens in this town.
Yeah, it is. Also,
I just love that everyone accepts. No, that's a real thing. This is a multiverse in this city.
Also, one last thing. Bo Amir did, hold on to the title against Angel Camacho. Again, Vance Jackson being a big player in that. But he's had a very interesting title reign since dethroning Khan. Because he's had matches against Fuego del Sol, Casey Black Rose, and now Angel Camacho. And for a 7-foot monster, if Nastico and other shenanigans don't get involved, he could have easily lost all 3 matches, which is an interesting way for your 7-foot monster to be. So, be interesting to see how long his title reign lasts and who can finally take that from him.
Angel Camacho should have won. I'm just saying.
Well, he should have. Mm-hmm. He had him squashed. Now, Vance was getting revenge for when Angel attacked him, but both times it's because he tries to cheat against Angel. It's his own.
Yeah, Vance gets mad. Oh, look, if it isn't the consequences of my actions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, another great show. When you go over the upcoming shows, their next one is in June. It's already a couple weeks away.
Yeah.
So,
the Von Erichs, the main event.
Yes.
Was really good. The River City Kingdom, and I can't believe these words leaving my mouth, are apparently now good guys in RCW, and I don't know what life is.
No, Jason, this is exactly what I'm saying, and I agree.
Yeah.
As far as the Texas Kingdom goes, they are the quintessential team to describe the Texas multiverse, because literally, depending on what promotion, they're at different levels on the spectrum of good and evil. From uber faces and gods at United 210 to just now going from kind of heelish to good at RCW. At Hybrid, they're mostly good depending on who they face.
Yeah.
And then I forgot where's the other one where they're like mega heels. Maybe Bonacho Pro or somewhere else. But yeah, it just depends literally whether.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. This San Antonio thing is really weird. So.
That's the beauty of it being so many great promotions.
I was going to say that exactly. That's what's awesome about having so much great wrestling.
Yep.
In town.
And there is more coming up, as Mike mentioned. Mission Pro Summer Lovin' June 15th. RCW will have a show the next day on June 16th. Did they give a name to that one? It's like a Father's Day.
Father's Day Frenzy.
Father's Day Frenzy. There we go.
They're giving it a Godfather theme, though.
Yeah.
So I immediately thought, so is somebody gonna get whacked at this show or before or after it? What the hell?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
You coming to me on this day? Oh, please, God, yes.
United 210
title match.
United 210 has their next block party / wrestling show June 21st, and then
Hybrid is
party
/ wrestling show. That's good. I'm sorry, that was good.
Y'all need to go to one of those, man. It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, we'll be at a
for
the next one. Yeah. So
real quick, I also know Dog Pound is having a show June 30th.
Okay.
And
is that here in town?
Yeah, it'll be at
Biggs
by UCLA.
Okay.
And also there's a show. What am I looking for? Damn it.
Yes, you do, Burnsy. We need to get you out to another one.
Yeah, you do, man. It's near Waco. It's Texas 360.
Temple?
Huh?
In Temple?
Not quite. It's Clifton, Texas. It's called the Clash in Clifton. Saturday, June 1st. It's at the Clifton Middle School gym.
This Saturday. Okay.
Yeah. So it starts at. A time would be nice. I don't see it. Maybe I'm just blind. Anyway,
Vegas, baby, Vegas.
Baby, Vegas.
Yeah. Hey, man. Welcome back. But anyway, I do know Morgan Mercy will be there. I know Machiko will be there. I'm planning on going, but I'm not promising that. But it's 360 Pro. You know, they usually do have a big stake on Mid Texas wrestling, but it's always a good show. You know, it's always a fun crowd because the crowds don't get a lot of wrestling live out there, so it's always a fun crowd. And it's Brent, Tim Storm will be on there, Barrett Brown, Izzy James. So yeah.
I guess that's a good reason. Yeah.
I don't know if she's serious though. That seems so suspect. The fact that she volunteered
Look,
that
Angel,
information.
if you need tutoring, both my kids made A honor roll this year. Just throwing that out there. So if you need help from a soon-to-be second grader and fifth grader, just saying. So
I mean, you also have a wife who's a math teacher. I'm a math teacher. Tommy does English. You do history, but you offer the kids. Feel like that's a little.
I mean, they're killing it right now. A honor roll. I mean, my son's over here writing his own comic books right now. He's 7. It's pretty cool. So, yeah. So
I didn't write the comic books at 7, but my toys sure did have a lot of those stories that I'm writing now in them. So yeah, so that's fair.
The funny thing is, no matter what toys I was collecting or you played with at the time, they always just turned into wrestling matches. So, glad you're doing well, Angel.
Yeah, we're happy for you. Mine always turned into episodes of like Transformers where there was a big conflict and then it all got resolved in 30 minutes. So,
Look, okay, I don't want to go too far, but the thing that really broke me is when someone said that cartoons were just commercials for you to buy the toys. And I was like,
it's kind of what G.I. Joe was when you think about it.
They all were apparently.
That was the whole point.
The cartoons were. Yeah, but like you don't think that when you're a kid, you're just like, these shows are awesome.
I mean, I got the sword from Thundercats as a kid because it was a great show.
Dude, I had both He-Man castles.
Yeah.
Gray Skull and Snake Mountain. That was cool as crap.
Which, by the way, Lego just announced their first Legend of Zelda set.
Yeah,
it's coming out.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yes. So I plan to get that for my son, but I'm probably helping him build it. So yeah.
That's fair.
It's the Kokiri tree or what the tree, right?
Deku tree. Although there's like multiple sets involved with it too.
Oh, okay.
So,
There was this toy that like it was like a play set that was like the X-Men Danger Room. In like 3 seconds it opened up. It was like really cool. That's something. I begged for that for like a year. And my dad got it from like Christmas or my birthday. I can't remember which one, but I begged for a year.
I kind of wanted the Harry Potter castle that had like that whole big set.
There's so much. There's so much. You go to a freaking Lego store. It's crazy. So
dude, that's why I can't walk in there with legitimately.
All right, let's talk about the big major pay-per-view events that happened this past weekend, starting with WWE's King and Queen of the Ring. Took place on Saturday afternoon our time, Saturday evening where they were, which was in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And quite a show. I mean, I think there was only one. Was there only one additional match that got added after we had talked? Or
the women's tag title?
But that was on the pre-show.
That was on the pre-show. Yeah, that was just added to the pre-show.
Nothing was added main show. Just pre-show.
Yeah, we just got to know who the finals were going to be. What matches stood out to you guys? We'll start with you, Tommy. What stood out to you the most from the show?
Probably the King of the Ring match with Gunther and Orton.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping the controversy was intentional. Real quick, Burnsy,
up there.
Burnsy, I didn't get Burnsy. Here's what's funny. I had that band.
Yeah, that's what we hate you, but no.
Yeah, I had that band not because I bought it, but because I got it as a hand-me-down from my cousin because he didn't play it anymore. So that's what I had it. So,
those turtles were the bomb. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Yes. Oh no, those were my favorite toys too. Anyway, I think the King of the Ring, like I was saying, because I hope the controversy was intentional to like kind of make Gunther seem like he's unworthy of being king, and also just to give Randy Orton something else to be mad about, which is always fun. So, and it's cool to see Gunther as king. I think after that whole Intercontinental title reign that he had, which was legendary at this point, that he just deserves something else. And I can't wait to see who he's actually facing at SummerSlam because I have some theories about that, and I want to see if I'm right.
Yeah. I think it was just a botch like WrestleMania 35. I think because of the quickness of the way the crucifix was trying to go. I think they couldn't quite get lined up. But they played it off well. They did.
Yeah.
I think for me, the Intercontinental three-way, because it's kind of like my ideas were switched between the women's title and the IC title. I thought they should have gone out on a limb and made Chad the big heel by beating Sammy in Saudi Arabia, where he's so huge. And then I just figured they would keep it on Becky. and it's almost like those two things got switched. They went ahead and pulled the trigger with Liv, not necessarily to make her a big heel, but to continue that storyline and make a deal. And then Sammy wound up just retaining, despite all the madness. But it was only 5 matches, but like all of them were pretty good. As long as Logan Paul has 2 months to choreograph his match, he looks great because he is an athlete. So, I mean, look, he puts on impressive matches. He's athletic, but he goes to the PC apparently and rehearses the matches with people for a while, and that's fine. It puts on a good show.
Whatever works. I mean, Bad Bunny is the same thing too.
He's not there every week, so
yeah.
So is the Universal title still a thing? Like, does that still count?
I mean, I think it's officially the undisputed WWE Championship, so it's not like called the Universal title anymore. So
okay, I mean, I know the WWE Championship, I guess, is still there, but okay, I get so.
Which, if you're gonna call it undisputed, you can't have another title. Like, there's a World Heavyweight Championship. Just call it the WWE Championship.
That's why I'm confused.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What was that? That's what it was. Well, she meant this comment real quick, but then the finish to the Queen of the Ring match.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if Lyra was alive, and I don't mean this to be mean, but the way because the way she was going for that power bomb, Nia couldn't, do the thing where they kind of hold themselves up. Her arms and legs were on. She just fell on top of her. And I was like, dang. But the wings were pretty cool too. But that finish, like the way it looked, because she was trying to power bomb her and then she just fell straight on her. It looked pretty devastating. Like, I don't know. I assume she was meant to kind of, hold on like that move usually does. Like she's done it, like Yokozuna's done with it. But she couldn't and just fell right onto her. And I was like, dang. But it was effective. So
yeah. I was going to say, Triple H did, by the way, announce prior to King and Queen of the Ring that, and this is something that's going to be done going forward, the winner of each King and Queen of the Ring tournaments will get championship title shots at SummerSlam for whatever brand that they are on.
Did we all get King and Queen right?
No.
Because I was wondering if that would have changed anybody's pick had that been announced before we made picks.
Had that been announced, I probably would have changed my pick on the women's one because I went with Lyra.
Lyra, right? Yeah.
Tommy and I went with Lyra. You were the one that went Nia. We all went with Gunther. We all yeah, for sure. But
I don't know if that would have changed my pick. I don't know.
It probably would have. It's SummerSlam high profile match, and it's nothing against Lyra. She's not there yet. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it would change. I can't say for sure it would have changed my pick. It might have, but I can't swear by that. So.
Yeah, Triple H, stop dropping things on SmackDown, okay? Give us before Monday Night Raw or press conference Tuesday or Wednesday. No.
Match that stood out to me was the opening match, Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch. To see women open the show is pretty historic. To see women be on the pre-show, pretty awesome. But the involvement with Dominic Mysterio, which kept on going when you got to Raw as well. Liv winning. Doing the whole "Oops, I Did It Again" outfit, by the way. I mean, she make that work, right? But the craziest part of all that is that, Dom tries to get involved, completely botches that. The chair ends up backfiring. Liv uses that to beat Becky. And the first words you hear on commentary after the 3 count is Michael Cole, "Dom, you're a moron." He's sitting there yelling that off the freaking commentary, which was hilarious. But Liv, this is like long overdue, well-deserved. Right. And I really, obviously, once Rhea Ripley is healthy, that's the plan going forward. But Liv's not done yet. I mean, she said in the promo, "I'm going to take everything that you love, hold dear." She's already got the championship.
Now she's got Dom.
She's working her way to make sure she gets Dom.
Well,
right?
Oh yeah. So, and I see this comment here too. Mm-hmm. I don't think Dom has totally acted this as well as he should. Because I feel like there was some confusion about what he was doing. Now, if you heard him, he said he was trying to help Becky, I think on Raw too, during the cage match because Finn and JD came down. I don't know if I was a big fan of the way that integrated with what's his name, the Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman, yeah.
It was kind of funny, but it was kind of a weird way to take out Becky. But I do think Dom was like a little, and maybe that's part of it. I don't know, but like I feel like he should have been.
Yeah,
I feel like he should have been more demonstrative that he wanted Becky and he didn't want Liv. If that's the beginning of the story, so. But otherwise, it's still pretty fun.
Yep.
But speaking of the Braun Strowman thing, that match with JD was pretty fun. Like hit the tilt-a-whirl into the power slam, and then that chair shot. I never heard. I guess like I missed a lot of commentary since I watch everything secondhand. But I hadn't heard Michael Cole call JD McDonough. Because it's more about JD McDonough. I mean McDonough. And I was like, what the hell did he just say? And then the way Braun smacked the chair out of his hands. That's a grown man he just smacked out of his hands.
One more question.
What's up?
Was Logan Paul worthy of the triple crossroads?
Yeah,
I feel like it's borderline.
I personally don't think so, but that's not my call. But that's
obviously not. I'm just asking your opinion, not your.
I don't think so, but I think it's just getting the crowd hype. He's doing 3. That's kind of his thing right now. So,
so the thing is, I don't know. I told Jason and Tommy this kind of connects to one of my wrestling pet peeves that I've realized, and maybe this is also because we watch a lot of indie wrestling too. Just because you are Hispanic does not mean you have to do 3 amigos. You do not have to do 3 suplexes because you are Hispanic. We all love Eddie Guerrero. Everyone does. Just because your name ends in a Z or usually a Z. It's
or an
you
S.
don't have to, or an S.
Well, I mean, if your last name is Guerrero, maybe you have permission.
Yeah,
you're somehow related.
Tell me the Guerrero you know from around here or that we're talking about.
I don't know.
Exactly.
So,
I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. We all love Eddie Guerrero, and granted, I'm sure if I was actually wrestling and put all the work to get in there, I'd want to do cool stuff. But
I mean,
you don't all have to do it.
It's a Hispanic thing to 3. If you're from San Antonio, you probably do a super kick. It just happens that way. If you're from Canada, you inherently
a super kick. If you're in wrestling, you do a super kick.
I know, but
let's not get that to San Antonio.
You do it like Shawn Michaels style. If you're Canadian, you're born with the knowledge of how to do a sharpshooter. It's it's just one of those things.
Hey, if you're a hybrid guy in here, do the Marvel special because Marvel hit that to Casey on Sunday on the outside of the ring. And that looked nasty.
Yeah. Chase Owens does it.
Oh my God! What is this? What's it now? Oh, I won't do 3 moves. Got it. So I mean,
look, if you want to become a wrestler, just make sure your name doesn't end in Z. Then it's cool.
But if you take on a Guerrero last name, have at it. All right.
Angel Guerrero, it's right there.
Yeah, it's right there. All right. How did our picks go? Well, Mike and Tommy went 3 and 2 for King and Queen of the Ring, and I went 4 and 1. Now our WrestleCast ratings for King and Queen of the Ring: 0 to 5, 5 being WrestleMania 17, 0 being December to Dismember. Mike, we'll start with you. What is your rating for King and Queen of the Ring?
You know what the show was missing?
What?
Bailey.
Yeah,
that's fair.
True.
So it gets a 1. No, I'm just kidding. I think I'm going to go 4.5. I think it kind of comes under that, like it's a really solid show, but nothing earth-shattering, nothing horrible, just really good.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Tommy, what about you?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle, but I'll go like 4.25. Just it's nothing wrong with it. Just I don't know. I'm kind of getting weary of this 5-match pay-per-views. It's like kind of like you have this giant roster. That's all you can do.
That's fair.
It's kind of I can see that, but it is kind of going back to I guess the way they used to do things. Just keeping it small, keeping it whatever. So
did they ever do that a lot? I remember.
I mean, not for some of the minor pay-per-views they used to, but yeah. So I mean, it's just
WWE always keeping things small and.
I always remember even the small movies at least having like 7 matches at least.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was Saudi Arabia. We know they got stuck in the country one time, so maybe they're just trying to make sure they got the stuff and get out. So, but
interesting.
guess.
Oh, wait, hold on. That's the wrong one.
Hey, we'll discuss that in a second.
Yeah.
My rating for this is a 4, straight up 4. I mean, there's nothing really outlandish about it. The triple threat was great. Liv Morgan, Becky was great. Cody Rhodes, Logan Paul, good stuff. But the Queen of the Ring final just felt like a squash match to me. I didn't feel like Lyra had a chance the whole time. And I feel like for a tournament final like this, that's a big annual thing. You need to have more than that. Gunther Orton, granted, it went for a while, but it was just like, okay. I mean, the finish was controversial, obviously, but a little predictable at times. I get it. So, but
that's kind of funny because last week when we picked, I picked Nia because I said I didn't think that she was there yet. And you were like, well, she beat Damage Control, so maybe this is it.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, maybe this is it. My thought was like, at least make it, more than just, they didn't even go 10 minutes. Like, it just felt like it was a squash, so it was just like, at least let Lyra look good, so.
They could have given her a little bit more. I agree.
Yeah. So.
I also didn't think I was going to have the highest score. That's kind of funny.
Yeah. It happens that way, right? Overall rating 4.25.
Nice.
Math, yes. Easy average, but I still have the Excel spreadsheet to help me out. That's cool. All right. And as always, when you're doing these ratings with us, you're more than welcome to put your rating in there as well. Real quick before we move on, though, how do you guys feel about the way they are booking Braun Breaker right now?
I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of that rocket push. He's I hate to say the name, but kind of a Brock Lesnar when he first came out, just destroying people, being reckless, or seeming like he's being reckless.
Like he's unhinged, nobody can control him, kind of thing. Yeah. So,
as all stories, it needs to end in something well and not peter out. But so far, so good, I think.
Okay.
And I just hope people remember he actually is Rick Steiner's son, not Scott Steiner's. No matter what he looks like or the moves he hits, just throwing it out. Well, never mind. There's a storyline you can make, but it's I don't know. It's probably mean.
Yeah, we already did that. Besides, we already know that Ray would give Dominic to Eddie at this point.
That's fair.
All right. Well, let's move on to AEW Double or Nothing, which took place on Sunday night. Now, maybe WWE only gave us 5 matches on the main card because AEW was giving us 10 on the main card for their show. And hell of a show. Real quick on the pre-show, Deonna Purrazzo defeated Thunder Rosa, and the Acclaimed defeated Cage of Agony in a trios match. So, but
Tom and Nick.
Oh boy, wow, let's be in touch. Jesus. Okay. We'll go through the same thing. What match stood out to you? What was like a major moment in this? I know.
Okay.
I'll let you pick 2 because I know there's a lot that happened.
Okay, but let me say this first. Cage match was woefully cruel to this show. I feel. I'll put it this way: the only kind of maybe slower match that wasn't as good as the rest was maybe the FTW match, and that's it. Everything else seemed really good. I don't understand the ratings that I saw. I was like, because I think I said this online earlier. I didn't get to watch the show live. Of course, I couldn't be right RCW. So I watched it later, and then I was like, "What were they talking about? These matches were fantastic. This is a great show."
Really
and so as far as what stood out to me, I was gonna go with Anarchy in the Arena for sure because that's probably one of the craziest Anarchy in the Arena I've ever seen, and that's saying a lot. And I have a special place in my heart for Swerve and Christian Cage. I really do. That house call out of a spear was a thing of beauty, man. I said, "Geez, that was nice when he hit that."
Yeah.
So,
Mike, what about you?
Yeah.
Oof. I think the women's match was, I don't know, maybe very underrated. It was a really good match. The only because I know you had mentioned that, Tommy, when you were talking about it. That was a damn good match. The only thing story-wise for me was Serena hit, I think it's called the Detox, which is basically the Styles Clash without hooking the arms.
Yeah.
Or she hooks him behind their back, I think, when she hits it. She hit it on the apron, rolled her in and hit it again, and Tony kicked out of that. That was the only little thing, and I was like, okay, there's Super Tony. That was like a Super Cena type kick out. But other than that, the rest of the match, just a little thing, but it's not enough to make me not like it at all. Because otherwise, the rest of the match was great. Tony has gotten so into this character that you forget how good of a wrestler she really is, and the kind of matches she can put on. Other than that, the other women's match was really good too.
Yeah,
and they had a lot of storyline to that. I know you said too. Ospreay's match with Roddy Strong,
dude,
was really good.
You're
also
taking mine because that's the one. That
okay, well, go ahead, and I'll let you segue into it. Cause
I know that match opened the night, but I just at the end of the night was like, God, that match was just fucking good.
Yeah,
it's Ospreay and Strong, and I'm gonna throw this out there. If ever this is a dream match, I would love to see Casey Black Rose in. It's Black Rose versus Roderick Strong.
Oh, he has said it for a while, but yes,
that would be amazing. He told us that, but that match was awesome. I mean, Ospreay, I swear to God, he counters everything. It's insane.
Yes.
Crowd got into it, and now he's going to be challenging Swerve for the championship at Forbidden Door.
I just saw that.
Yeah, so
Claudio couldn't make
it. The moment you're talking about the women's match, I kind of agree with that. There's if you had gotten a thing, maybe she got her foot on the ropes, or someone interfered.
Small thing though,
little thing, but
I feel like with that they're just demonstrating her character is so unhinged. Even that wouldn't work. Yeah. That's all. But I feel that. But I see your point though.
As far as moments that this Double or Nothing is big known for, right? Everyone remembers the first Double or Nothing, the moment that Moxley came out at the very end.
Yeah.
We got MJF's return, which was great promo. Put the tattoo on his leg, solidified it, and quite frankly, I'm going to say this right now, it would have been a major loss for AEW if they could not sign MJF.
I agree.
But so he's sticking out, which is great. It's probably arguably the biggest homegrown talent that AEW has.
Yeah.
And keeping him around is
Robbie
amazing.
Allen's number 2.
Gangrel's showing up.
Yes.
For everyone saying, "Oh, no one's gonna remember who he is," we fucking remember who Gangrel is, and I know it was a little shot at Vince or whoever said that wouldn't have worked in WWE back when they were trying to get it before. It works so well. I mean, he did what he needed to do. His Impaler DDT, nobody does it better.
He hit it on Brody King it was nothing. I was like.
For everyone that says an Impaler like this or that, no, that's an Impaler DDT.
Yeah, that
does it better. So,
real quick, I have a friend who knows about Gangrel's school in Florida and talks to him on a regular, and they say you just look at what a nice, humble guy he is, and he's down to help talent and do that kind of thing.
Yeah,
they said so. So that's the reason why I'm glad that happened for him, because it's just giving the guy his due, because apparently he's still training and helping people get and everything like that. So it's and of course people remember him. He was a vampire before vampires were super popular again. Vampires was.
It's arguably one of the greatest entrance themes ever made.
Oh, yes.
Sucks that he couldn't use it. And people forget he did it. It was his own entrance theme before the Brood came along. That got in there. So I didn't know who Gangrel was when I wasn't even alive. Yeah, because everyone remembers the music, right? You hear the music whoa, So
that theme, 100%. If you came up to me and told me that Brood theme is the best in wrestling ever, I'd be like, okay,
it's top 5 for sure.
Here's my thing. There's a lot of things in wrestling or in life in general, where it's you may have your favorites, but if someone else says oh, this is my favorite though, and you're like, yeah, that's actually a really good argument. And
exactly.
I have my favorite things in wrestling, but if someone says, no, man, the Brood theme's the best in wrestling, I'd be like, yeah, actually, that's a pretty hard one to argue. You might be onto something there. Actually.
Anarchy in the Arena was fantastic. I mean, there's just, for so many reasons, the flamethrower spot was so well done. I'm glad Darby got to do that. And yeah, it probably scared the shit out of everybody watching. I know it did.
I remember reading it online when it happened. I said, he actually set that man on fire.
Yeah. So
yeah, I saw it popping up on Twitter, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
I said, you gotta be kidding me. There's no way he actually set that man on fire.
Set him on
and he
fire.
actually set that man on fire.
And you know, when he comes back through,
Yeah.
like earlier, they had dunked him. He had dunked him in the water, that little drink thing,
Yeah.
that the little thing. So you think that's that, but you also notice it's still kind of thick on him.
Yeah.
You know, that fire retardant gel they put all over him, but still, like,
They're smart enough to keep it at the legs too.
Yes.
Because if his hair gets caught,
right.
Yeah.
But to be like, I'm like, to be cool enough to do that and like to trust the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm gonna say. And like I'm gonna say it like I do with everything wrestling related, where we have to suspend disbelief. Do you guys remember the first Inferno match where Kane had to, Kane Undertaker, and Kane clearly put that other glove on that set him on, So it's like, that's one of the things where it's like they did it in the safest way they could, but it was still dangerous because that's what we wanted to see. So to me, I'm like fair game.
And I'm sure they brought like professional stunt people in to make sure it's all legit. On the other foot, though, not just local, any indie wrestling shows, do not try to replicate this on your shoestring budget. Okay, I know a lot of y'all play with fire anyways. Right. Yeah. Please do not, for the safety of human beings involved with your show, replicate the spot. Because honestly, there's a little bit of a fear that it's going to become a spot now at more shows.
Unless your name is Masada. Because
yeah, but that's different. The Masada set himself on fire.
I know.
And hit somebody with it. So
I
did see one video. To Jason's point, I saw a video of him testing out that flame retardant gel.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I saw a video online of that.
By the way, I did enjoy. I can't remember if it was, don't be stupid. Yeah, exactly. I can't remember if it was Matt or Nick telling them to cut the music for Bryan Danielson.
It was Matt. It was Matt because I couldn't stop laughing.
Yes.
No, but first of all,
go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
Well, let's go back to Bryan Danielson going, if we're going to play a song the whole time, play the greatest entrance ever, and then it hits Final Countdown. Then later, like a little bit later in the fight when the song's played, then he pulls it out and be like, stop, this cost me $200,000 every time the song plays through.
But then he says, but my favorite part about that was he says, we're on a budget, and you hear, I think it was either Toto Schiavone or Excalibur go, since when? So we're on a budget. Like one of them said, "Since when?"
I'm not trying to get this to a tribalism thing.
Shahid Khan didn't even notice that money was missing.
But I don't think the way WWE does things, they could pull something off that crazy, right? Because even when they do Extreme Rules, it's like kendo sticks and stuff. Like
they used to, though. They used to be this crazy.
Well, the flaming table. The flaming table is simple. I mean, because it doesn't burn forever. It goes out pretty easy. But I mean, you could tell they were ready to go. I mean, it's Vegas. They do crazier shit on stage in Vegas. I knew they were prepared for this
in
stuff.
The streets, actually.
Yes, I know.
And they put the fire extinguishers right there, which of course makes sense. But
it's also kind of cool because fire extinguishers have traditionally been a weapon in hardcore matches for a long time. So it's not the most like crazy thing to have them there. That's kind of cool.
Final thing I'll say, how about Orange Cassidy with the throwback music, which doesn't sound too much different, but
thank you, because I agree 100%. I love that theme more than the Starship whatever theme.
I loved it. I just love that his entrance video doesn't change a whole lot.
Although people noticed he wore darker denim, a black shirt, and darker sunglasses. This was serious orange. And he still won with like a roll-up.
Yeah, but that's
okay.
That's Orange Cassidy in a nutshell. I fucking love it.
Oh, Burnsy! Thank you for reminding me of that. That was my favorite. When Christian Cage had the turtleneck over his head, when he went flying, I was like, "This is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life," because he legitimately looked like he got his head cut off. So so. Dude, Tony Schiavone was having the time of his life that night, bro. Like he was cut up, bro.
He is to announcing what Don Juan is to wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
They're at the end of their careers and they are having fun and they do not. Okay, real quick to go back to RCW. JC, the next time you watch Don Juan in a match, watch his drop down because he does the most over the top dramatic drop down to let people run, run the ropes things.
He always has.
I know he does it, but every time I see it, I cannot help but crack up because he's like.
Here's the thing: for all those drop downs he does as Don Juan, nothing beats his Andromeda drop down. Have you ever remembered that?
Show. I'm trying to look because I missed
the last
last show.
He drops down on his back. He goes full spread eagle on his back.
Oh, that's right. Yep, that's right. He sure did.
Fantastic.
He sure did.
And yeah, it's so great. So
wrestling is so fun, man.
Yeah, it is. It's a blast.
So when they, every time they do Anarchy in the Arena, I'm like, how are they going to top what they've done before? And damn it, they did it this time. Like, but to this day, my favorite one is still the Matt Facts that happened right in the middle of that one time. They were like,
yes.
So that was still one of my favorites.
One other thing though about this one was Okada, because that man is not someone who is a big deathmatch crazy stuff, but he plays it so well, and everything he's done since he's joined the Elite has been amazing. So for everyone who was so upset about the video from last month or whatever, and they thought the Elite have been amazing in this new incarnation, and it's great. They're so easy to hate across the board, and I love it.
When Okada was heel at first, he was just like the arrogant young kid, claiming to be the best. I didn't know he could be a heel like this. I knew he could be a heel, just not like this. Like my favorite moment that he did, one of my favorites, was like when he was gonna do like the Rainmaker pose, and instead he went, and I was like, I think somebody said, "Who taught him that?" Because I said, "Okada, how dare you? You broke."
Did y'all see what he did tonight in the promo? Have you seen that?
No, I missed it. What did he do?
So the crowd apparently, I didn't see it, but like I'd seen the stuff on the clips, and apparently they start chanting like CM Punk at the Elite, and he goes, "Hey guys," like to the crowd, "Shut up, bitches."
I love it.
That's one way to beat those chants when the Japanese guy called you a bitch.
The Elite
wrestling's fun.
is really doing good things right now with those characters. So
for sure. All right. Well, how did our pick results go for this one? Tommy went 5-4, and Mike and I went 7-2.
Not
for
too bad.
Double or Nothing. Yep.
Yeah, it happens.
So WrestleCast ratings for Double or Nothing. Tommy, we're starting with you. What is your rating? And if you're watching us live, let us know your rating for Double or Nothing as well, between 0 and 5.
I was trying to go in okay. I'll put it this way. I was trying to go in like hard-assed about it, try not to be too Double or Nothing. But
you're going to, yeah. So.
But it started off just a 4, and it kept getting better. And I thought I had settled on a 4.5, but I'm sorry, Anarchy in the Arena just so I won't say it was the perfect show, but I am going to give it 4.75 because that was just a damn good show, dude. It was like when I take it to Anarchy in the Arena, it was like, that was really good. Oh, by the way, one moment we forgot to mention because I loved it because it was a throwback to one of my favorite moments in Ring of Honor when they hung Darby Allin upside down.
Yeah.
All of the Briscoes and Ladder War.
I was going to say, because I know you love the Jimmy Jacobs.
Please help Darby.
Please,
the crowd.
Dude, best crowd chant. I love the crowd. They were like, sorry, I just read Angel's comment.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah.
Angel, you're starting to sound like all the tribalism fans on Twitter. Don't be like
that.
Thinks he's mocking them. That's what it
is.
I mean, it's easy to mock them. Just
so 4.75 for 4.75 for Tommy. I'm giving it a 4.5. This was a great show. I don't know. The Moxley thing was interesting. Takeshita. Why Takeshita didn't win? I was like, okay, I'll try to figure out what they're doing. The trios match, I don't know. It was good, but it wasn't like it wasn't like okay, something to remember by. But the show overall was just a lot of fun. And for all this stuff and everything we're talking about, how great it is, the Bucks are heels. Chris Jericho's reinvented. Chris Jericho loves the hate and keeps it going. But I am interested. Yeah, but I am interested to see how this Hook and Samoa Joe thing goes, because apparently Hook left with Joe after Joe told him something tonight. So, but I'm giving it a 4.5. Adam Copeland, geez, just take it easy, man. You can't be doing this stuff anymore. So,
well, we say that, but then again, we told Sting the same thing.
Yeah, but Sting's
there is an opening for old wrestler who jumps off of things. So
Also, shouts out to Brian Keith, who apparently is going to start giving more TV time. And all of you people who say you hate AEW, that means you say you hate my boy making money, and then we have to fight. So, but then again, you said the same thing about that, and Shane Taylor works there too, so that means we have to fight. So, because if y'all messing my boy's money, I got a problem with y'all. So.
Tommy, you worry too much about the people that say dumb things. Remember what Burnsy always tells you.
That's true. You can't fix stupid. I know. It's just that for me, it's Brian Keith and Shane Taylor. I know you guys don't know Brian Keith as well, but I've seen Shane a lot. For two guys who I've seen grind up and down the Texas roads wrestling in small venues, no bigger than the Good Shepherd Lutheran, and kill it like it's like it is a pay-per-view, to finally get the recognition and money they deserve. It's good. It makes me happy. That's why another reason I will defend AEW. I don't mind admitting that. I have guys who I know and I'm happy for who work there. I don't care if that makes me obviously biased. So yeah, shouts out to Brian Keith.
All right.
I got you.
Mike, what's your rating for Double or Nothing?
I'm going to go with Tommy at a 4.75. It was a really good show. I again, in a very similar manner to King Queen of the Ring, if Claudio would have been on the show, then it would have been a 5. But, for a weekend of shows without Bailey or Claudio, they still tried to – they did a couple of okay things. So,
Well, Claudio's getting ready to come down here and do the big swing on K-Jax. That's what it is.
Look, I can relate, because it's not truly a forbidden door until Toriano walks through it. That being said, our rating for Double or Nothing is a 4.67 overall. So, yeah.
What if he shows up at Forbidden Door with the trios belts?
Then it doesn't fucking matter. It's a 5. I don't give a shit if the rest of the card is horrible. It's a goddamn 5. So, yeah.
That's how.
Which, by the way,
Toriano shows up. Jason's gonna start the show. I'm your host, JC. Forbidden Door was a 5, and joining me this week
is it none of your minutes fucking matter? Done. Yes. So, saw Toriano wrestle at Forbidden Door. I'm done watching wrestling. I can retire now. So yeah. So. All right. Mike, by the way, speaking of Forbidden Door, I know you shared with us that tweet from Jeff Cobb. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet. I think you shared it in the group chat with us. Did you? I'm trying to remember.
I think so.
Yeah. Basically, they announced the Forbidden Door Casino Gauntlets winner that was going to happen tonight on Dynamite, which Ospreay eventually won.
Yeah.
But Cobb retweeted and said, "Funny, New Japan guys have to go through a gauntlet match, but those dorks can just say they want a shot at our biggest title and get it granted. Even Stephen Wonder can see how stupid that is." I'm inclined to agree with the guy. So, yeah.
Also, I hope it leads to some sort of match that, maybe it's kayfabe or not. Jeff Cobb, defender of New Japan against some AEW peeps.
Somebody asked him, "Bet there's going to be New Japan guys in this gauntlet?" And he goes, "Not me, I refuse." So, one guy says, "I acknowledge my Hawaiian tribal chief." Funny. I'm gonna say this. Look, if this is working for Cobb, great. But let's have Cobb go after Moxley.
He has.
Do it again. Shit. I mean, come on.
He did it way back when Jericho had the Inner Circle. They brought him as an assassin, and then didn't he face him like last week from Don Callis?
I'm pretty sure they Strong or something. Or
no, on Dynamite or Collision. Tommy, are you looking that up?
I am. Because
I'm pretty sure it might have been last Wednesday on last week's Dynamite.
It was a tag team match. It was the Blackpool Combat Club with Cobb.
Oh, okay.
With Fletcher. And the last time they faced was 2020. That's right. Yeah, like you said.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I'm down for the match, but they do seem to bring him into AEW specifically to go after Moxley. So at some point, he's got to win.
They gotta set something up. Yeah,
every time he shows up, Moxley's like, Jeff Cobb's here. I have to fight him, don't I? Damn it! So,
yeah.
He's got that big old thing on a. God damn it.
All right. Well, with that, let's move into our 1 minute warning segment here. Mike, do you have something this week?
So I did. And then I just happened to flip over to my Facebook tab while we were on the show. And I think I need to play this. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. And let's see if y'all can see this. Can y'all see my Facebook page?
Once you pop it up, yeah, I can see it through the backstage. But let me
okay,
throw it up here.
Okay, I can see it.
Okay, so let's see if I can play this. Because we talked about this literally earlier in the show, and someone has already made a video for it.
Say his name and he
Oh, good.
Where the second? Hold on.
It's got a buffer.
He appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Cause you love him in London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland and Canada and Mexico. They say I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Yeah, good cut up with there with CM Punk, by the way.
That's what I want. Kudos to whoever made that. That was on our friend Knopf's page there that he shared. But we made a joke about it. But him and Punk, because I think Punk would have so much fun with it. On top of that, so yes, 100%. Joe Hendry in WWE. I need that. I want that. You can have the other 30 seconds.
Okay. So just put this back here then. Wow. Yeah. All right, Tommy. You got something this week?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Sorry. I still believe
ready,
in Joe
set.
Hendry.
All right, and go.
Okay, so it's kind of piggyback off what I said earlier about AEW being a company and things like that. And also, I forgot one more friend who I have who works there, technically, Athena. But it's not just that. It's what Dustin Rhodes said earlier this week on Twitter/X about the fact there's more than one company. People can not only get paid, but the higher, the bigger stars can negotiate for better pay. Like this whole thing with Becky Lynch. Yeah, and to be fair, I don't see her going to AEW. I could be wrong. I wasn't entirely sure Edge would go to AEW. I was wrong about that. But that being said, she doesn't necessarily have to go, but she can say, hey, my options are not limited. And then, of course, there are places like TNA. She could go to Stardom and everything. And my overall point of that is to say, why people just need to realize wrestling is in a fantastic place right now. Because even places that are indies, like GCW, that may be indies, but those guys get monster crowds, monster show buy rates online and stuff. So right now wrestling's in a great place. So if you don't want to watch something, just don't watch it, man. Just forget it. Watch something else.
All right.
Don't like a promotion? Don't watch the promotion.
I agree.
Yep. All right. Well, mine is in a weird way going to tie baseball into wrestling because that's just what I do. I love sports and everything like that. But baseball fans everywhere are rejoicing in the fact that a certain Major League Baseball umpire announced his retirement. And if you've been living on a rock, you can just look up the name Angel Hernandez and understand how much baseball fans hate this guy. Probably arguably the worst umpire in the history of Major League Baseball. So many bad calls, a crazy strike zone, so hated, so delusional about his hate. That being said, Angel, you have quite a future as a referee in professional wrestling, especially at hybrid. Because look, we may not have Vance Jackson forever. If you really want to book a heel referee, why not get a former Major League Baseball umpire who was quite literally possibly blind and deaf for all we know, like was literally the definition of it. But I'm just going to throw it out there. If you need to make a career move, I don't know how much your buyout was from Major League Baseball, but if you're looking for something to do, you might have a small future in that. Just saying. So.
This man just offered him a job as a.
Are you sure? Are you sure he announced his retirement on the right date? I mean,
look, all I'm saying is you want to see some. You want to see some funny shit? Just go. You know, people always like some of the best wrestling entrance videos, a thread, whatever. Some of people look up there. Some of the best calls that Angel Hernandez has made, a thread, and it's one that just says announcing his retirement. That's the best call, the only right call he's ever made in his entire career.
Hilarious and
serious.
Disrespectful.
Oh my God! There's just a thread of all the horrible calls he's made throughout his Major League Baseball career. There's TikTok videos of it. It is freaking amazing. So
now I just want to see a match where someone's in a submission move and they just move their arm. He's like, "Oh, that's a tap." They're like, "Yeah, that's a tap." That's it.
He'll just start ejecting everybody too.
Yeah,
once. Yeah, that's what he does. So.
Yeah, Vance comes down and he always does this thing because he wore a sheriff's badge once. And now I'm just I always think of you. I'm like, just go back to Foot Locker, Vance.
I was going to say, CDL that. You got that shit at Foot Locker. I have the same one when I worked there, So, I mean, just it's whatever. So
I keep meaning to buy a referee shirt, and I'm going to buy one day and wear it and just taunt him and just be like.
Because, honestly, Marvel.
They sell them at Academy. They sell them at Academy. Just
really?
Out there. Yeah. You can get the full umpire gear too if you want. Yeah. So, yeah. So. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us on this week's episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. Next week, we are going to be talking. Where's my graphic? There it is. All about NXT Battleground, which has gotten so much bigger after what happened this past Tuesday. Keep an eye on what happens on NXT this Tuesday when Jordynne Grace actually wrestles on NXT television ahead of her match against Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's Championship. So we're going to talk all about that. I may or may not be on the show because we're trying to figure out if we're gonna have the show on Wednesday or Thursday of next week. My my parents are taking the kids to the beach for the week, so it's gonna be nice having the house to ourselves. But yeah, so and just Tina and I have we're gonna go out of town just for a night, just to kind of get away. School's over by the way. Congrats to all the students and teachers out there.
It's not over for everybody, but yeah,
not over everybody. It's almost there, So yeah, so.
But just keep a track of our social, guys. We'll let y'all know once the decision has been made.
Yes, either Wednesday or Thursday.
Post it and shout it out. Mm-hmm. Tommy will say it, so you'll be able to hear him. So.
If it is on Wednesday, I'll be sure to give you my guys' picks and my thoughts because I'm gonna have a lot of thoughts in my mind on how they can go with this Jordynne Grace thing, and I'm really interested to see how this goes. Which, by the way, one of the best tweets today was Jonathan Gresham saying, "Hey, I thought you just went to get groceries."
Thank you for reminding me of that. I forgot that tweet. I saw it and fell out laughing. That reminds me of when Edge put that note on his fridge of going to walk the dog, and he highlighted an A, E, and W were in all caps, and Beth just said sigh. Yeah. So. Thank you again, everyone. I realized I didn't set the music up here, so we're just gonna go finish without the music. So that's Yep.
Actually, the last show you weren't on, do you remember that, Tommy? Because we can't play the little music. I was like, do.
Well, we might as well just finish with that, right? So, over here we got Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
We got Mike.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other.
And that computer worked great, Mike. Good job on that one. So,
for now. For 1 week.
And I'm JC. As always, heels and baby faces. Remember, pro wrestling is real.
People are fake.
Reach for the sky, boy.
Boom.
See you next week.
Adios, Gunther.